the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Boo.
If you're going to start fucking quoting analytics
Hey,
and
I'm
data,
just looking at a graph and I'm telling you.
I'm going to get on this Splunk.
I don't even know
start
what
pulling
dates.
data sets.
I don't even know what dates. What dates these would correlate to.
Okay.
As far as I would have to do some cross-referencing research analysis. Analysis. Have to analyze it.
I ended up, like, for the second time in less than a week in, like, random training materials, someone had abbreviated
Yeah.
a series of things and then cut it off
Oh no.
at anal.
Oh gosh.
And you're taking
Yeah.
an enterprise training module.
Wait. Oh, so this isn't like sexual harassment training? 'Cause
No,
that would be even better.
no. And they're like, enter in these keys, and then the analysis, and like all that fits in the dialog box is key,
Anal.
ANAL. Cis, and then
This won't go anymore.
the presenter is like, so you do what's right here in the dialog box, and the
Yeah.
little fucking immature prepubescent me is like anal.
I mean, I feel like Tony would get mad because whenever I see the word therapist, I always just see the rapist.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
the
mean?
Will Ferrell Jeopardy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what
Or
I
not
see.
Will Ferrell. It was who was that? It was
Yeah, that's
the
Will
guy
Ferrell.
who passed. No.
Well, he
would
Will Ferrell would play him, right?
playing. No. It was the comic that passed last year was always playing
Oh, yeah. Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
like Burt Reynolds or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, playing Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did Burt Reynolds too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'll take the rapist.
Yeah. Well, that's what I see every time.
And he was playing Alex. That's right. Will Ferrell would play
Alex Trebek. Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck you, Trebek.
Fuck you, Trebek.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the show.
Sad Dads Club Podcast, episode 176.
You're on it, man.
And that's it. The number is now done and
It's
gone.
all arbitrary anyway.
I'm the Lord Foo.
I'm Jim, and we are here for Your Wednesday,
We have okay.
or maybe.
So we
my
got
Wednesday.
mail. Now,
Oh yeah.
along the way, in various shows prior past,
Yeah.
I mean, this probably goes back even to like season 1 stuff. We've talked about unfortunate incidences with your pets.
Yeah.
We've had some elaborate stories.
I've had one of my own specifically that I can recall.
Right. It could be anything, but usually these are the colorful ones.
Yeah. Usually
Ted,
brown of some color.
Yeah. Ted from Tennessee.
Who is one of the original Sad Dads.
Right. Who is an OG.
Yeah.
He sent in an email for us to
Ruminate
on. And there was various ways in which we were trying to tackle how we would present this.
Yeah.
One, it's too good to not have a chuckle over,
Yeah.
but it's colorful.
Yeah.
And Ted put in a good amount of comedic writing into it, and then said, flavor it up however we would want.
Right.
And Ted,
Sure.
I have no corrections. I have no corrections. So my only addition is that I'm going to read it from, and anyone who's played Ingress with us in it goes back now. We stopped in 2016.
Was it that long ago? Dang.
Right. You would recognize this as Mrs. Pineapple. Now, if you were playing with us and you're actually a listener that was playing Ingress with us or participated in the Zello communications as we drove around town playing this silly-ass game, we had an opposing player who we would mock with a lisp because she generally just was that bad of a player.
Yeah.
And it kind of helped smooth over the things about trying to get people to just have a good time about the idiocy about the situation in some cases. This voice was also turned into a downloadable Waze directional cue prompt voice.
I use it. It's loaded in my Waze. I use it.
Yeah.
Whenever I use Waze.
So if you've never used Waze, one of the cool things that you can do with that app is that you can pre-record. They prompt you for all of the cues, like turn left, turn right, U-turn, coming up close, off ramp. I think there's 25 to 30 audible cues
that you can record your own sounds.
Right. You record your own things for those things, and then you can set it as a preset and then share it for other people to download. So I took this voice, which is silly and...
Well, here's what's funny about that is that you did it you didn't say anything at all.
Right.
You just did it and then uploaded it.
Right. And I think it was #HiDragon. I think it was Andrea that said something like, you should put this on like one of those, the voice, or she may have even prompted it. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'd do it. And then it turns out that Waze had it as a thing.
Yeah.
And for science. Fuck yeah, for science.
Yeah.
So I did it, and then it kind of made its way around. And if you're someone that still has it, I think Jenna is the gatekeeper of the link, but it's still out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And a number of people use it. And if you're a parent and you have it, some of the things aren't kid safe.
No.
But young adult friendly because it's absolutely hilarious.
Well, what's funny about it is, okay, I mean, I know we're off topic here a little bit, but what's funny about it is if you're driving for any sort of length of time and you're using Waze for directions, which I don't do very often, but every once in a while I kick up the app.
Yeah.
And then you forget about it. And then suddenly you hear one of the directions pop
Turn
up.
left, asshole.
Yeah. And it's like you just laugh all over again because it's funny.
Right.
And
it's juvenile.
Unexpected humor.
So my addition to Ted's mail will be reading it in the Mrs. Pineapple voice. And I'm going to try and get through this as fast as possible. The story is absolutely hilarious, so I'm not going to do too much, if anything. So here we go. This is Tennessee Ted.
You got my listening ears on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear Sad Dads, so our two rescue greyhounds, Guy and Della, love the special crunchy cat treats from the doggy buffet boxes we keep in the downstairs bathroom. We've had to put a child pet gate in the door to the bathroom just to keep them out, but allow the kitties and humans to get in to use the facilities.
Isn't that Kitty Roca?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But the upstairs bathroom is a different story altogether. The toilet up there does the slow flush thing where it's not getting enough water per flush. I need to do some work on it and probably replace the drain tube with a bit taller one because I already have the shutoff valve adjusted all the way to the very edge of the downspout. Is that the proper janitorial sciences term? I don't know. So needless to say, the toilet is not for number twos. Number one only.
You leave your number two out of it.
I need to make a sign. On top of that, the door is supposed to remain closed and the toilet lid completely down and shut at all times. There are all levels of defense against the roving toilet explorers because according to their reports, this is where the most delicious water in the household is found.
I'm just picturing Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I need to take a small segue here over to the drinking habits of the greyhounds. They grew up in an indoor kennel type of environment where they never really had to learn house manners. They're track dogs, retired racers. They both have an official record, wins and losses on a website, and identified tattoos on their ears. Shit, gangster.
Damn. Auschwitz shit right there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nazi dogs.
Damn.
You said Auschwitz. What the fuck? Shit.
And when they drink, it's usually after a burst of running when their heart rate is well over 200 BPM and they get a drink, it's rowdy, loud, and sloppy. Kind of like
Wow.
when they would take my portals. Anyway. So back to the upstairs bathroom. Inevitably, someone had, read child, poops in the upstairs. Doesn't attempt to flush, or if they do, they will not be sticking around to ensure it goes down, because the poop definitely takes at least 2, sometimes 3 flushes.
No courtesy flush available.
Yeah. Nor will they close the lid or the bathroom door. And then, guess what time it is? It's doo-doo water drinking time. Now, I hate to create this image in your minds, but if I'm reading it, you fucking all have to.
Yep. You're welcome.
But this is the literal bane of my existence. Imagine walking into a bathroom. The lingering smell of Coachella outhouse hits you immediately. And you see an unflushed toilet full of macerated toilet paper and doo-doo soup that's been marinating for a few hours.
I think I made that soup before.
He gets props for Coachella outhouse.
Yeah.
Because that shit is dank.
Oh, that's unpleasant, especially with all the drugs going on.
Marinate for you. But not just this horror alone awaits you. At some point prior to your arrival, one of the thirsty turd burglars came in and started lapping. Yep. Just drinking away in that rowdy greyhound style. Got it all nice and mixed up and then sloshed around with their big, great, daggedy greyhound tongue. Lovingly sprinkled little brown chunky splats all around the bathroom floor, the toilet, the bottom edge of the tub, etc., etc. Like Salt Bay.
It's like
but with poop.
Brown nut soup.
No, Poop Bay. My dogs are now known as Poop Bay twins. The end.
Good one, Ted.
Good one, Ted.
Jeez.
And if you'd like me to read one of your terrible pet stories,
Yeah, that
as Mrs. Pineapple,
send it in with $5. No,
yeah.
You'll get a small sample of his bathwater.
I'd read it. Anyway, there you go. And on with the show.
I think that was sent because last week we kind of ended the show talking about why do dogs eat their own shit.
Did we?
Yeah. We were talking about that.
yeah, we did.
Yeah. The other day I let the dog out, and sometimes I'm just like, what does he do back there? And a lot of times I open up the door and he's just sunbathing.
Yeah.
But
It's been so cold. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll like hop up in a chair and he'll just sit in the sun and sunbathe.
I'm not going to drink that right now, but thank you. I love you.
I'm delivering it right.
Oh, you better take it.
Okay.
But so the other day, I don't forget what day this was. Maybe Monday.
Thank you so
Maybe it
much.
was late last week. I open up the slider and I peek out. Like, what is he doing? I don't see him anywhere. And he's in the grass chewing. Yeah. Chewing up his own shit.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. For as cute of a motherfucker as that guy is.
So it's Melly's cat's shit.
No, it's his own shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. No, I let him out back, and I'm just like, what's he doing back there? And like I said, most of the time I'll find him on a chair, like sunbathing. But not this day.
That's interesting. I have never known a dog to eat their own.
Yeah.
That's
Really gross.
I mean, Jack's the thing that we've made jokes since his when he had his tumor, like skin thing removed by his wang.
Right.
It's since fully healed up, and we've mentioned that now his wang pulls.
Right.
Like it's healed, but it's off kilter.
Yeah.
So he's had a 7 to 8 years of his almost got it. Of his lifespan has spent with a known trajectory.
Right.
His pee, when he lifts the other leg, it sprays everywhere. It is in the dirt. So he comes in now and he's constantly having to bathe himself because he's
pissing all over.
Yeah, if he's up against something that he's trying to pee on, like a planter or someone left a cardboard box or something outside.
Yeah.
Or an ice chest or something that someone left on the porch. #wife. Hi, I love you so much. It bounces and hits his feet, or bounces and hits his belly. So he's like, it's a hot mess.
Now speaking of that, Max, like the dude is like, I don't know. When I take him for a walk, most of the walk is him sniffing for spots to pee on.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's his time. Like I kind of
dogs do dogs.
Yeah. Do your dog thing.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to change his personality. It's annoying because I just want to walk.
Right.
A lot of times I just let him do his thing. But what I have noticed is he'll get in the grass and sniff a spot.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get fixated on it, and then when he's sufficiently smelled that spot, the accuracy of his urine to that spot that he decides that he needs to pee on is, dare I say, spot on.
Spot on.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Pinpoint.
Yeah,
that's what makes Jack
crazy.
so funny, because you can, if you've paid attention, usually they're trying to cover up the scent of the thing.
Right.
So in Jack's case, it's hard to tell if he's made that understanding at this point, and I don't think he has.
Probably not.
They're trying to cover up a thing, and when he pulls up to a hedge and he's aiming for the scent and he's blasting his own self in the fucking forehead or something, it's kind of like, did I get it? And coming back for a second round, it doesn't matter because his axis doesn't work in hitting the targets anymore.
It's like his little aimer has been misaligned, right? So he doesn't even know.
He can't calibrate, and he just thinks, am I hitting it?
Well, he had like a facelift on the wrong part of his body.
Yeah.
And it just pulled his wing to the side.
Oh, it is, full pull.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure you're not in the way, because the other one, if he goes the other leg, it's like a rainbird straight up into the sky, and you're like, fuck, get out of the way.
Yeah. So it's messed up both directions.
You had a funny, and it had a pretty funny conversation that you picked up his shit bag.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what led you to.
Well, I was walking him the other day and had him on the leash in one hand, and my sunglasses had sort of slipped down my neck, and I had picked up his shit, and I had a bag of his shit in the other hand, but kind of forgot.
Yeah.
And just sort of reached up to get my glasses, and the bag of shit hit me in the face.
Like a tea bag
just
in
like
a whorehouse.
Plunk. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn it, that's disgusting. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's in the bag. It's not like I had shit on my face.
Right. And the way that you're doing those things anyway.
Oh, I am tying fucking knots. I don't want to smell it.
Yeah, it's not like you had shit on the part that.
No, you put your hand in it like a glove.
The concept of a shit bag.
Of the turds smacking you. Just
giving you the how you doing?
Crinkle smack.
Right.
I didn't enjoy that at all. So that got tweeted about.
Yeah.
Go reply to that tweet.
I think your friend in Colorado said something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't leave this one alone.
Right.
It wasn't even the one in his pocket. Wasn't even his dog's shit. That was his.
Well, she mentioned that which this is not a thing that I would ever do, and I'm not going to say that you should. So if you're listening, don't do that, Jen. She put her poop bag in her coat.
Oh, yeah.
And then got the coat out, forgetting to take the poop bag out of the coat. Next day, put your hand in the pockets and find the poop bag. That's what she was saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought she was making a joke about you carrying your shit.
No,
I didn't know
it
was hers.
She's got a couple dogs, and so she picked up the dog poop and put the bag in her coat, and then the next day put the coat on, forgetting that the bag was in there, and stuck her hand in there into the bag of poop.
Oh.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
Especially if you had nails and you...
Oh, yeah. Especially if they get the sharpened ones. But I think I would rather do that than have the poop, even though it's in the bag, still smacking me in the face. That was gross.
I mean, it's too
That's
close
too
to
close.
sensory.
Too close to the eyeballs, too close to the nose, way too close to the mouth, because that's close. It was almost like I was chin smacking dog shit on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, so gross. Yeah. I don't want balls on my chin, let alone a bag of shit.
Yeah.
A bag of shit. Think about that. Think about what we do for our dogs.
I know.
I think that's nuts. that we walk our dog around. I mean, it's health reasons, right? And plenty of people don't. I find there's shits everywhere.
Yes, and if you're a runner, and hashtag Hey Tony,
Yeah.
you know there's an even special bane of our existence when you're just out trying to use the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And you have careless, inconsiderate dick bags.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the law to pick up your dog's shit anyway. But like picking up, you walk your dog around, and he shits. You get a bag. You immediately get a bag. So.
Yeah, and most places, at least out here, they're readily available. So even if you forget your own, they're all over the place out here. There's no excuse to just. You're not a weak man if you have to pick up your dog. Just do the kindness.
One day he took a El Capitan, and so I went to pick it up, and when I reached down to pick it up, of course, this shit's nice and hot.
Oh boy!
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I picked up his shit was hot, but there was something next to it that was shit, and I'm like, that's not his. It didn't look like his, but it was right next to it.
Oh.
And of course, it was cold. So I'm picking up somebody else's shit along with his shit.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of shit.
It's the shit everywhere.
Yeah. It's shitty.
It's just a shitty job.
Yeah.
But you were doing the needful.
So it's just like gross. Here's a funny one. Yesterday, let him out to go poop. It's cold in the morning. Or go out to go do whatever he does. And I just was watching him. He shit and it was steaming. Dude, that was so cool. He had steaming piles of shit in the yard. It
actually happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It was so cool. I had to tell my wife about that one because that was awesome.
Look at this. I'm putting this on Snapchat.
I wish I would have recorded it. Honestly. I mean, I have a picture of our old dog, Nacho, right?
Yeah.
Taking the shit in the backyard. And then that's the photo I used to airdrop people that wouldn't stop airdropping me.
Oh. Like mid-push or just...
No, like they kept we were at a dance competition. I think I talked about this.
The poop is mid-push.
Oh, he was hunched over with a poo coming out of his hole. Yeah, and that was the picture that I snapped on my phone. I could show it to you after the show.
You want to leave your airdrop permissions open? You're getting Nacho taking
you're going to keep sending me pictures? Here's the picture you're going to get, motherfucker. And then they stopped after that. So,
I mean, everyone's got a deterrent.
I guess for him it was a chihuahua taking a dump.
Yeah. You got any of them cat pictures?
That's real hot.
I need a cat dumper.
Oh. Anyway, so that's enough talk about shit, I guess.
Yeah.
So anything new?
I got the cool... I can't remember if we talked about it.
We talked about a lot of bits.
The Chamberlain.
Oh,
the garage remote. Did we talk about that last week?
I don't know if you and I just talked about it.
And I don't remember if I've talked about it on the previous show. I ran into my garage door, the actual drive and motor, is relatively old. I'm going to say 6 years plus. Now, normally you wouldn't think that was a thing, but...
don't they last forever?
You would think. I think it was a corkscrew drive.
Yeah.
And it just started, I think one of the actual gear rings had snapped at some point. I mean, my garage door has never been replaced, so I think it's like slightly off kilter, and it was because I fixed that. Anyway, it's older. I really wanted... I mean, the amount of electronic shit that I have here in the house always seemed to play possum with us and our garage remotes. I would like to think that this is common for households now, but it might just be ours. Like, we fight is my remote going dead?
No.
Like, are my batteries going dead? Like, Venus always seems to have she fights it.
I never had that problem. Now, does her car have it where you can program it into the car?
She does, but I don't think we've fucked with it in her thing, or she doesn't want to, and I don't have time because she has a remote. And but she always, it doesn't work for me. And, she pulls right up or pulls to where she wants to park, and she's, trying to ding, 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 and it never registers for her.
Uh-huh.
And it must be the batteries because mine's always fine. Whatever. Maybe somewhere pre-COVID... I threw together a Raspberry Pi
Which is kind of overkill for what you're trying to do. But
I had cycles,
Yeah.
and it was to be able to take a Raspberry Pi and using the Wemo API plugin, you essentially could turn it into a I'm going to say it and probably turn on the chick in the garage, but the Schmalexa, you could get it to answer stuff through that. So using a third-party API and Raspberry Pi, you could do all those things. And then you could essentially just using the Alexa app, you could use – I'm waiting to hear if she kicks off. You could use that to then open your garage door.
Yeah.
Super handy. Everything was third-party, and so it was sometimes the Python stuff would run amok of memory, or the Raspberry Pi ran out of memory.
If only you knew somebody that knew how to manage that kind of stuff.
I tried to put a cron job in there to bounce it, but I was the only one that would use it. So that didn't really. Oh. It was a fun project for me, and
that's no good.
It did work once if I kept on top of it.
But it's the thing, though. It has to be usable all the time.
Exactly.
And it has to be adopted by everybody.
Right. And so I think the thought process, one, it was fun to tinker with, but two, I never had a problem with my remote. So it was like, well, if I can give her my remote, then I'll use the Schmalexa app, and I'm fine. And plus I never leave the fucking house anyway.
Right. Who needs a garage door opener?
Yeah, I'm no shame in going around the back of the house, coming in through the doggy door.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I have no class. I don't care. But I lost the wheels on that. I stopped managing it, stopped keeping on top of it, and it was a problem. Now, the Genie app that allows you to use the Genie app on your phone,
because that's what you have is a Genie garage door.
I have a Genie. Yeah. To use that is one. It was an account. And it needed 2.4 gigahertz, and the pairing was not all that far off from a fucking Sonos. And I think that was part of the problem that I tried to resolve post the Raspberry Pi, was that I then went, fine, I'll use the app. Venus will use the app with the same account, and
Yeah.
But I could not, for the life of me, get it to pair anymore with its existing control panel. I have no idea why, but after spending a day with it, I was like, fuck this.
Oh, wait. So you're saying that the Genie opener that you have already had this built in?
It had, yes. The old control panel that's no longer there did have something, but it was
pain in the ass.
In the ass. It was not short of the Sonos. Yeah. Very close.
Uh-huh.
And it was fine, I'm done. Pull the plug. Fuck you. And that's why the button and opener that's over there on the wall is actually just a car opener that I paired to
which
the thing.
Is kind of comical.
Which is funny. It has a real nice holder.
Right.
It's super awesome.
Yeah.
But it's just a car portable opener.
Yeah.
In the last month, 2 months, really the last couple weeks since Venus has been leaving for a job and coming back, the frustration with her thing, it seems to really hit a point where she'll get out of the car to try and fucking open the garage, and then it's a joke, and she'll get out, and I'll touch it, and for whatever reason the door opens when I'm holding the controller.
Would it matter if she was using your opener? Would it make a difference?
Well, I'm kind of getting there, because there's a funny haha at the very tail end.
All right.
I don't. I never had it going out to leave for the gym, coming back. I never had the problem that she did.
Yeah.
Now, Piper, I paired the Miata with the HomeLink thing.
Yeah.
And it always worked for me in the car.
Yeah.
A lot of these things.
I have this problem too.
A lot of these things work when I engage them.
Oh my gosh, it's like someone else is speaking my language.
I'm not saying that they were doing it wrong. Perhaps I have just a better frequency, lack of. I don't know.
Your crystal vibrations.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
But Piper seemed to fight it in the Miata, whereas I never had a problem.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. So there was a problem, and it started to kind of come to a head here in the really last week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
After talking with you, and you've mentioned here, I think even probably a couple years now,
Yeah.
using the MyQ, the Chamberlain MyQ for the Amazon Key
Yes.
to have them open and close and put your deliveries inside your garage.
Yeah.
Now you have a Chamberlain.
I do have a Chamberlain garage door opener, but it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't make a difference.
So part of that for me, just on its face and like looking for products to solve the problem, was I hadn't really ever asked myself the question: is the MyQ device that you have a universal thing, or was it a Chamberlain in-house only type of thing?
Right.
So I think we probably after a show, I
It was
asked.
like 2 shows
and you're
ago.
like, no, it's like a universal.
Yeah.
I think I spent one night on Amazon, and the length of time it's been between me running trying to do the Raspberry Pi project, and a week ago, there are a number of products that do exactly that.
Yeah.
That are Amazon Key compatible, and they essentially pair to your door, run off Wi-Fi, and connect through the cloud so that you can use the app instead of an opener, an actual opener running on like a RF Bluetooth adapted frequency or something.
Yeah.
So I bought the MyQ one. Now the funny thing was with that device was that you and I went back and forth one night trying to make sure I was getting the right product.
Right.
They have a product that's $19 on Amazon and a product that's $30-something on Amazon. And you need like a sensor that attaches to your door, and then the actual transmitter control box itself.
Yep.
And that, oddly enough, is the $19 one, whereas like an extra sensor pack is the $30 one. So it feels like they could do some unclusterfucking of that.
I don't understand why they're selling just the sensor by itself anyway, unless the sensor dies or something.
But that one was actually more expensive than the actual $19 product that you need to do the whole setup.
Yeah.
So I did go to their website and punched in. They have like a wizard, like, is the product going to be compatible with your door? Punched in the existing model that I had. It's compatible. For $19, either I was going to get a sensor and have to an extra sensor and then have to buy the $30-something one anyway, or for $19 I end up with exactly what you have, and I'm off and running and I'm done.
Right.
So bought the $19 one. It came. Pairing was super fucking easy.
Yep.
To running the app, pairing it to the garage door was no more difficult than pairing another opener, and it is handy and flawless as fuck.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then you go on your Amazon account and you sign up for Key, or with your Key, the Amazon Key app.
It does prompt you for that. Like, you can use this. So now we are enabled to, when we select like when I select a delivery for something, I can put Amazon Key and they'll do the garage door open and close. Now, I'm still apprehensive about that. I know you do it.
We use it all. I use it all the time. Now, I actually have 2 of the MyQ. I have a really old one.
Yeah.
The pairing on that one, because when I bought it, it was like basically brand new. It wasn't that great. The newer ones are much better. The software is much better.
Yeah.
But we have, so apparently with Amazon Prime, you can only use one unit per account. So one MyQ unit per account.
Per Amazon.
So I had taken that up with my account. So my wife couldn't use Key on her account because we have 2 accounts.
Okay.
So one day it came across my email or something, the MyQ thing for $16. And I'm like, order it.
Yeah.
So now I've got two of the Chamberlain MyQs controlling the same door. They both show up in my app. Right. I can use either one to open and close the door.
Right.
But now my wife has one that she can attach to hers.
Right.
And, that's one of the things that I really care about is making sure packages aren't stolen off the porch or whatever. So that's important for us.
Right.
So that's been invaluable. It was awesome at Christmas time to come home and open up the garage door and find literally a pile of Christmas presents waiting in the garage for us. You just know they're not going to...
Right.
And in addition to that, we have added a camera in the garage that faces the door. So in case the app gets wonky and it doesn't know if the door's up or down, and we're getting an alert, because what we do is we set it up so if the door is up for more than 5 or 10 minutes, all the accounts will get an alert.
Right.
And then it's like, oh shit, did we leave the door up? You know, that kind of thing. And there's been a couple times where it's gotten out of sync and is like the door actually up or not. So we put a camera in the garage that faces the door. If we have any question whether or not it's actually open, we can check the camera and verify that.
Right.
And it also looks at who's delivering packages, right?
Right.
Are they walking away with a compressor? You know,
that
kind of stuff.
Yeah. That'd be handy. So it's been super handy. Like and I put the account on Venus's phone.
Yeah.
And I put the account on Piper's phone because now, Xander is still leaving and coming while I'm here. So he hasn't, I'm just behind on putting it on his phone, but there's no reason.
Now, I think the MyQ app supports multiple accounts now. I don't know if you knew that.
I can, yes.
So
you can make
can,
like a guest with like all the permissions.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to. I just wanted one for now.
Yeah.
But yes, I know you could give.
Yeah, that's how we've had it at our house. Is everybody just logs into my account on their phone? But since they've added that, I gave Shanna just to test it, her own account, and then I gave her permissions, and then now she uses it with her own. Yeah. So I got to do that with the kids too.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Venus has been busting my balls for the longest time about not having because a lot of the devices in the house are all tied to my email account.
Right.
So what I did was for this, I actually made like an agnostic, not Jason
specific
account. So that way, it's not me per se.
Right.
It's the slush one.
Right.
So that anybody can do the thing.
Now here's something handy that we use the garage door, the MyQ for is back when I worked in the office. I had a coworker that needed something that I had at the house. And so I had made plans for him that he was going to come down and come to the house, and I was going to get him the thing. I think it was a tripod or something. And then I forgot. I totally forgot he was going to come down. So we went out to dinner, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh, shit. Algie's supposed to come by the house.
Right.
So I text him, hey, Algie, we went out to dinner. I totally forgot you were coming down. No biggie. I can let you into the house. Right? Let me know when you get to the house and you're standing on the driveway. And so I get a message, okay, I'm on the driveway. So I open up the app, I hit the button, it opened the garage door, and then he could get right into the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love that functionality.
Another one of those things that I didn't know that would be handy, that turned out to be handy, was from the watch. Now, Now, I don't know if Android Wear or Android, whatever the mobile watch subset is for Android. But if the watch apps both support that, it has been so handy.
Especially you got cellular on your watch, right?
So I can leave that. I don't need a garage door opener when I leave. I don't have to ask someone to open the garage if I'm out on a run.
Yeah.
I can see the status. Like the watch app has been super handy.
Yeah.
Super handy. So the funny part about the end is that the last couple days before setting it up, on my controller, on my car portable, I was starting to run into like problems.
Okay.
And in the final steps of the setup for the Chamberlain itself, it had gone through like how it pairs it. Like I think it just broadcasts like a blast set of signals.
Right.
And then while the garage motor is in pairing, and then it finds one. So it did that. It opened, then shut. And I went, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Venus I put the account on Venus's phone, and she had to go out and about. And I'm like, when you get out somewhere, like get out to where you're going, Folsom or something, tell me, and I'll have you check and see if you can see it. Like we were just testing the cloud functionality of it. Like I don't know, 100%. So we'll see. But it turns out I was actually leaving at the same time to go get something from Lowe's Home Depot. Like, well, we'll arrange this later. So Venus left the house. I'm like 2 minutes behind her. I head out. The garage door is open. I'm in the car. I start backing out the car. I look at my watch and I hit the close, and it's like, it's doing its thing, and it like times out, and I'm still within range, like here at the house, like I'm just short of the driveway.
Yeah.
And it's not closing, and I went, fuck. Okay, so is it not? Is it really local and not a cloud thing? But I can see the cloud. I'm like, ah. So I reached up into my console, I grabbed my button, and I'm like, beep, 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 and it's not doing anything. I'm like, fuck, this whole thing, it wasn't even like this didn't fix it. Like, there's so much interference that the thing being right there is still not good enough. Like, fuck, but it closed it.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck? Turn off the car, get out of the car, come in the garage. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the error, and it's just like, your door won't close, or you can't use the app until you clear the error with your garage. Your garage won't close.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So then I'm like, well, fucking clearly my remote is now broken like Venus's, this thing. So I walked over to the door. I'm hitting the button on there. Garage isn't closing. I'm like, wow, this is bigger than this something.
Yeah.
This antenna is toast? Like, what's going on?
Right.
So I'm looking around. I walk over to the sensor, the new MyQ sensor that I put on the door. Like, did it fall off? What the fuck? Is something in the way?
Something was in the way of the beam.
I'm looking. I look down, and the edger that I store in the corner of the garage, so the manual edger, it looks like a serrated pizza cutter. If you've never done your own lawn edging. It's a beast of a device.
It's the round one that
one
has
wheel
all the blades
with like
on
a
it?
pizza or starburst.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was ever so slightly leaning on the light beam safety sensor, and I went,
that doesn't look right.
no way. Like, is this pulled it up, and it moved a bit, but not like, oh shit. But when you're talking about a light beam, like,
it's just a little bit.
A foot probably makes all the difference.
Well, you're talking about just a minute shift is going to over the width of your
And so
garage.
I moved the edger out of the way, and I went, oh. I look at the watch, and I'm like,
now I can
okay.
tap that shit.
I'm holding my remote in my hand, and I kind of step out, and I hit my button, and the door starts closing, and I went, wow, I wonder how long that's been fucking, like, playing interference. Like, it's been, as the garage door goes up, it kind of like puts it in a way to where our remotes were working.
Yeah.
Either way, for $19, it wasn't that big of an out of pocket, and probably all our remotes are really good, and have plenty of battery. Yeah. But the Chamberlain MyQ, if you want something that works over the cloud, and you don't have something currently, I would 2 thumbs up. 100% 2 thumbs up.
It's been invaluable for us. One time my wife and I were at Home Depot, and all of a sudden I get an alert on my phone, and my wife does too. The garage door is open. And we're like, and this is before we had a camera in the garage. And we're like, what the fuck? And so you hit the button, and it would act like it's closing, and then it would open back up. And we're like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Well, no one's home. Chandler's gone. Chandler was the last one to use the door. Like, what the fuck? You didn't close it, and for some reason it's not working.
Right,
like, what's happening? So, knowing that nobody is home and our garage door is just fucking open, anyone can get right in the house. So I said, we got to go, and we left, and raced home, and got home, and sure as shit, the garage door was up, and a broom had fallen into the track, and so the door was coming down and hitting it and bouncing back up.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were probably pulling out as the garage door was shutting.
No, Chandler.
Chandler.
Chandler
so
had
someone left as the door was closing and just,
didn't bother to check.
This is the way.
Yeah.
And then
he didn't bother to check it was closing all the way then left.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, the alert goes, hey, your door's been open for 10 minutes. And then it's like, why the fuck is the door open?
I haven't
for
set
10
up
minutes?
any of the alerts, but that's I'm home a lot more than most people.
Yeah.
But
when
that's
you got
handy.
absent-minded kids,
Right. Yeah.
which happens. I mean, Chandler's left the door open when he's left for work in the morning at 6:30.
I have left the door open after a podcast, forgetting to put my.
I wonder about that sometimes.
To put my car in the car, but being able to see without having to come out here buck ass naked.
Yeah,
because that's how I roll.
Oh,
anyway,
blink,
you know,
blink.
it's nice.
Yeah,
it's handy.
Yeah,
and am I hot on maybe
having another account?
Having another account? No, but this one it's Chamberlain. Now I'm not going any deeper in where this goes on the back end, but the other products that were available on Amazon that were roughly the same price point, probably give or take $3 to $5, were probably most certainly pushing you through a non-domestic entity.
Yeah.
Now, Chamberlain's might be that way on the back end, and there's a little bit of don't ask, don't tell going on. But I feel security theater is a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the account that I made is, like I said, it's a slush one for the family. It's not tied to me personally.
Yeah.
Is some amorphous entity getting metrics on my Wi-Fi and analytics and the door frequencies? Yeah, but it is the utility. For me, in the last week alone, has been super handy because no one is complaining to me about the door not opening.
Right. That's a win.
And we ended up testing it down later on, like once I got the edger resolved.
Yeah.
Like to be able to Venus open and close it from the cloud, from not being anywhere near here, and then seeing notifications or checking the status. It's handy.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Worth it.
Worth it.
And they're, like I said, you can find them on sale on Amazon sometimes for $16. It's totally worth it.
If your garage door, I mean, it's super silly, but if your garage door doesn't support that, and you're perhaps even in somewhere where you have a garage door, and you're looking for a more secure solution to your Amazon package deliveries, give it a shot. I mean, it's integrated in the product.
Fun fact: if I sign up for the My Cadillac account, where I get the you can remote start your car from your app and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can have packages delivered to my car.
Oh.
I don't know how the fuck that works, but apparently the My Cadillac app supports Key as well, which is crazy to me.
Put the Christmas presents in the trunk. Don't mind the dead body.
I mean, I assume you're just like, my car will be here. I mean, because if I'm commuting up to Grass Valley.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. It's not at my address.
Oh.
So is it delivering to do you just say delivered to my work address and here's the car and then they can pop your trunk and put it in your trunk?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird? Work? Yeah, I don't know. I assume it's to the address wherever the car is going to be parked. That's interesting stuff.
Yeah. We put it in a Bay Transit.
Yeah.
I don't have that thing. Yeah, we just use a crowbar. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, but speaking of like smart things, the thing that I have been pining for now, when our house was being built, we had ceiling fan mounts in every bedroom because it didn't originally come with them, so we added that in all the rooms. When they did that, they didn't give you a switch for the light and then a switch for the fan. It's all wired into one outlet.
Okay.
So if you have a switch there, it's turning the fan and the light on and off, both of them, right? Which is stupid. So in years past, prior to smart things, Hunter makes like a one switch controller that's got fan and lights, and then everything's wired up to the fan.
Okay.
But at the top, there's a little control module that goes above the fan and the canopy of the fan.
Okay.
That splits out the wiring to the fan controller and the light controller separately. So the module that gets mounted in the wall talks to the controller at the top of the canopy and says, turn on the light, dim the light, fan speed, right? It does, and it controls it from the little module that sits up on top of the canopy. That's all fine and great, except wouldn't it be nice, considering we have all these other smart things out there, is a controller that does this in the same manner that I'm doing it right now, but with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have not found that thing that does that yet.
I don't know if I've looked for one of those.
Yeah, I've been looking for those like for a while, and I'm like, why doesn't this exist? They made a product that already did a similar thing. All they need to do is add Wi-Fi to it, you know?
Yeah.
And I would buy probably 4 of them, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the thing I really want.
Yeah. We have like it's not that fancy. It's just like something that goes over a blank plate, like over RF or Bluetooth that's punching fan speed.
Is it like a little
It looks
like a remote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just slip it over the actual light switch.
Right.
That's always on.
Well, this is like it's actually wired into the wall, so it has power for the RF controller to the fan, and then it has a switch that you can actually turn the whole circuit off and on, right? So you can disable the fan completely with a little switch at the bottom. But then it also has like a light switch that you can press and hold for dim, and then it has like a fan off button and then 3 fan control buttons, so you can determine how fast you want the fan to spin.
Interesting.
And then the controller up in the box, because the power is all the same. There's only one power coming in to the fans kit at the top. The controller gets power from that, and then based on its communication with the thing on the wall, determines whether or not it's powering the fan or the lights. And it works really well. We have them all over in all the rooms that have fans. But we have smart stuff now.
Yeah.
I want the same thing but with Wi-Fi.
Part of that stuff that I would like that too. Part of that stuff that gets like you end up with, unless you're Mike and Dragon or Will, with the time and the extra know-hows to be able to be doing some of these not VPN, but draw a blank.
Like
virtual networking.
Yeah, virtual networks.
VLANs.
Yeah.
Carving off VLANs for some of the devices that don't need to be, and then setting most of that stuff we could probably do if you put the time into it, but it's like I don't have that time. Should you do it to make your home more secure? Absolutely. But once stuff starts getting out of skew, it's like, oh, your Hue lights or your Chamberlains only work on 2.4, and
right.
and then I've got so many. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
it starts to get away really fast, or you end up with like a Hue light situation. I really like the Hue app. I really like the Hue lights.
Yeah.
I really do not like the price points of Hue products.
Right. They're proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. Get yours, chase your bag, make capitalism. I'm all for that. But
doesn't mean you got to pay for it.
The other solutions that are comparable, it starts to mean I have to lose ground in the security theater part where I don't want another account. I don't know where this is going, and I really, really, really would prefer that this was calfed onto its own VLAN security chunk of the network. I don't have the time. So then you just don't adopt into the product at all.
Well, I mean, I just look at it like this is making my house easier to operate.
Right, yeah. And that's it. I mean,
whether or not I'm VLANing or
this
not.
This MyQ thing is exactly that. It is see a need, fill a need, and $19.
Yeah.
This was next day, 2-day delivery.
Yeah.
And I had a solution. I didn't put it in until the weekend, but it works. I am super happy with it, and it removes a little bit of hassle, like not a nagging. # I love the ladies in the house.
Foot and mouth.
And if I probably would have removed the edger, I probably would have saved $19 to be able to buy a boba or something. It's the little things, and you want to consolidate and simplify to recoup that time, but you can't be also agnostic or ignorant of exposure.
Yeah. I mean, we have Wemo stuff in the house too, and I think you have some Wemo stuff. I just added. Well, we had a Wemo die actually. One of our Wemo switches just stopped connecting to the network.
Yeah.
And then once it doesn't connect to the network, it no longer runs. This was a switch that was used to run our front lights on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Like click on at sundown and click off at sunup. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my wife's like, the front porch lights aren't on, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And then I just turned them on. Okay, cool, thanks. And then like the next day or 2 days later, the middle of the day, the front porch lights are on, and I'm like, fuck, okay,
What the fuck?
So then it's like she's mentioned it now 3 or 4 times, and then I'm in the back of my mind going, fuck, I hope this isn't a problem.
Right.
And then I start digging into, okay, what do I need to do to fix this? And then come to find out after like 35 resets of the damn thing and reboots of it, and deleting it and re-adding it multiple times, that it's just not working.
Right.
So I replaced that guy, and then also put in a 3-way switch in the hall, like a 3-way Wemo. They make one of those.
Yeah.
Because people leave the hall light on, and I hate walking through the house to turn it off. It just pisses me off.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like, now I can just go click.
That's the same house.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
So I love that stuff, It makes everything just easier.
Yeah.
We have another light that's in the kitchen that sits above the
prison?
above this sink. Yeah,
okay.
above the prison.
Yeah.
It's basically a
For your
dishwashing
mouth.
prison. For me, every time I do.
Every time my
Every time
family
I-
eats.
Every time we eat, it's my dishwashing prison.
Prison.
But it lights up my dishwashing prison, and it's the same kind of thing as the lights out front. It also runs a timer, like to turn on, and at sundown, and to turn off at like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So when that light clicks off at night, you go, "Oh shit, it's midnight. Damn, I got to go to bed." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're invaluable little tools in the house. Like I can't imagine not having them now. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to let the fact that I don't have VLAN set up. I don't have a VLAN set up.
Right.
I'm not going to let that deter
There's-
me at this point. If I have to make a VLAN and add them later on, I can probably do that.
Right.
But at this point, it's just like,
right.
I mean, I ran my Wi-Fi back when Wi-Fi was new with no password.
Oh, I know.
And it's not like nothing. I don't have default passwords. These are all accounted things.
I just drive by and download Independence Day off Pirate Bay from your house.
That's right. I have passwords now, but it's. I mean, there is some risk to it for sure. I'm not saying there's not, but that's the risk I'm willing to take.
I think that's part of it. You need to, not you, but
me.
The awareness of, and that's what makes this a little bit different. I have this conversation with my dad. He's like, "Oh, I expose, or they got the accounts and like stuff." I'm like, well, here's the thing. Some of this, there are best practices, and then I would like to think that there are the best practices that you can actually do day to day, and then there are the ones that they exist. Keep those at the back of your mind, because you never know when you may have an opportunity to leverage those. Yeah. And then there are the ones that would really make you secure, and you should always be trying to get there, but you probably won't. But knowing that they're there, it does keep you a little bit more aware of the situation. You can't just go off everywhere.
The way I look at it is Mike is an overachiever, okay?
He's excessive. And that's okay.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
He could come over and teach me how to do that. It'd be fine. So come on over, Mike.
We're close. I have a sideball.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
I don't know what a sideball is.
So we've talked in the past about the YouTube ASMR stuff. Like the stuff that you do that just kind of like...
Yeah.
Now, in the last week or so, I think you've sent one, and it was it's the carbon dioxide, or the God damn it, the CO2 sandblasting.
Oh, yes.
Undercarriage.
Oh, man.
Like cleaning an undercarriage of a car
Yeah.
with dry ice pellets.
Did you like that video?
I like how clean it gets.
I mean, it's fascinating to me to watch that process.
I think that whole ASMR thing. I think everyone's got like a thing.
Is that ASMR? Is that the same thing? Is it visual ASMR? Or is that
I think if it like gets you I don't remember what the letters stand for, but for you, I think it is like watching a power washing,
yes,
or the dry ice.
Oh, do you want to know what the other one is?
Sandblasting. What is it?
Is dudes that go dudes.
Yeah, gladiator
No, dudes
movies.
that go and mow these overgrown yards.
Yes.
Have you watched those?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
There's something so
cathartic.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my.
So it's your ASMR.
Yeah.
So in that vein, for me, it's the I've just found this like through an Adam Savage thing. It is the guys or women, people that right? How weird. It's for the both of us. The restoration videos, taking really rusty, garbage things, and the whole process. Most of them, there's no speaking.
Yeah.
Some do have captions about what they're doing. I like those because there's a part of me that like, ooh, I would need that if I wanted to do that. The restoration videos, we've talked about it long time ago. I'm a fan of like the head massage. I like those. Like those give me the tingles.
Do you have one of those?
Yes,
those
the
wire
spiders.
Yeah, you have one of those.
Love it. Eyes roll back into my head every time.
Now
I'm pretty sure Mike is the same way because Dragon will do that to Mike, and he's like a shark getting its belly rubbed.
I mean, my grandmother used to scratch my head, and I'd be like, scratch my head. And she would do that for a while, and it was just like, but I don't know about the wire thing. I don't know.
Oh, it's like tingles. So,
okay.
This back a month, there was some developer video game house that came out on Roblox, the Roblox platform, and I got there because it was I was doing some things with Xander, looking for some stuff. There is an entire sub-game in the Roblox platform that's weed eating. And so you're a guy, a Roblox guy with a weed eater, and you just pixels. You're weed eating pixels. And
there's a game on iPhone that you can download that you just mow.
Yeah, mowing.
Yeah.
So, and someone had just it was a Bungie content creator that I follow. There was a higher fidelity version of essentially a power washing video game. So you have power washers of various calipers, different types of nozzles, and then you're just a guy that goes out and cleans dirty walls.
Yeah.
He's filming it, or he's like just playing on Twitch, power washing.
Oh, wow.
So there's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Oh.
So today,
I could get into that.
Steam, pretty sure. Anyway.
Oh.
So I'm working away. Piper comes home. She's doing her homework. She comes in the office and she kind of sits down and she goes, Dad, when you have a break or something and I get done with some other stuff, can you help me buy a game on Steam? And I'm like, okay. I can't remember. It was called Unpack.
What?
Unpack.
You just open boxes?
And I am just shooting in the dark, having actually been exposed to some dude that was doing, so I know it's a thing.
Right.
And I went, is it an ASMR game where you're unpacking things? And she went, yes. And I went, interesting.
What?
Okay.
That's wild. How much are they getting for that game?
It was $19.
$20?
Yeah. Wow. So I worked for about another hour or so. She came in and she was like, I'm done. Can you help me? I'm like, okay. So I walk in and I go through it, PayPal paid it. And she's like, do you have Venmo? And I'm like, go pick up shit and we'll call it square. She's like, okay.
And I'm going to check.
Yeah, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to make sure you need to pick up $20 worth of shit. I think it was 15. It was 15. Anyway.
And if I shit, you have to pick that up too.
Yeah. I go back to work. I'm working. It's getting closer to 5, and I'm off work, and I see Piper go into the bathroom, and she comes out of the hallway or into the hallway, and I'm like, "Hey, are you still playing that game?" And she's like, "No, I closed it." I'm like, "I'm curious to know
see it.
what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fine." So, and I thought, oh, she wasn't enjoying it, but she had already powered down everything.
Yeah.
So she walks in and she starts it up, and she's like, "So you're a person, and you had been at college, and you break up with your boyfriend, and so you're coming back with boxes, and you're living in your parents' house, and you're having to unpack everything, and sort it." And so it's like you unpacking boxes and like using the stuff in the boxes, and everything has a place for everything kind of thing, but with no designated place. You just have to sort everything in the box. And so it's just kind of like, it's just like meticulousness.
Yeah.
And then you kind of decorate, but you're sorting.
And I would imagine you could be as clean or as messy as you want.
You can put anything, for the most part, anywhere.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But and so I'm watching her like, oh, because all I want is like a quick, like, what's it look like and what are you doing? Like, what's the concept?
Right.
And she gets like a minute or so into it, and then we're both like, but all those books aren't even close to being ordered. Like, put all the books on the same shelf. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. I said, oh, I got another teddy bear. Oh, my God. This girl collects like little chicks, like Melly and her Squishimals.
Yeah.
So she's like, there's like 5 of these little stuffed things she's pulling out of this box. I'm like, oh, well, they all have to go together. And she's like, yeah, I know. But where do I put the picture of the dog? I'm like, well, most of the pictures are over here. Like, you put the picture. She's like, oh, a purse. Ooh, a DS. Okay, so all the electronics got to go over here because my bed's right here. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And 5 minutes later, she's like, Dad, I was trying to be done. She was trying to and now we're both like, ooh.
We got to put this stuff somewhere.
Yeah, where are we gonna? How many boxes are left?
Did we get any teddy bears?
Yeah, they pull everything out of the boxes and just. She's like, that's not how I do it.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
that's hilarious. So now you're playing.
I am. Fuck no. I spent my $15 on her game. I ain't buying another $15. I'll unpack over her shoulder. Super funny to see. Games, man. You never know.
I'm telling you right now, I downloaded a game that you can mow on my iPhone, and you just go and mow the grass.
With different types of mowers?
I think you upgrade over time or something. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you get the electronic one, does it just silent?
Yeah. Yeah. It tells you that you have range anxiety.
Yeah.
They have a meter for that.
Ooh, you've got 30% of your lawn and 20% of your battery.
I'm not going to finish.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to stop and charge at the supercharger. Yeah.
Anyway, we're at time. And on that note,
all right,
be sure to wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your ass for sure.
Wear the mask.
Yeah, and check your oil, Tony.
Return the cart.
Do the kindness.
Get the shot. What?
Yeah.
What was that?
That was get the shot.
Oh, and get the booster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.